Hello everybody, so today we are going to be doing an overview of what November will look like for you guys. I have a bunch of decks that I am going to use today. We're going to look at career / wealth, love, and then wellness as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So before I do, if you guys are celebrating Halloween, I wanted to wish you a happy Halloween. Make sure that you're staying safe. I just heard about the stampede that happened like in Korea, and I'm just really feeling sad about it. I would like to just wish them, all the people, like I hope that their loved ones can heal from this as soon as they can. And yeah, just really sad, and yeah, just another reminder of like how we gotta be really careful and protect ourselves. Keeping them in my prayers and their loved ones as well. So yeah, I want to just take a moment to connect with my spiritual team and also ask the spirit teams of those people that are watching this to also come in. So as I do my reading, please guide me and allow me to give an accurate and helpful reading for those people that are watching. So I'm asking my spirit guides to come in and help me. Okay. This will be a reading for the month of November. Just, an overview, general reading, and then also a couple of subtopics that we can cover as well. I'll give you guys a few seconds. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with our first pile. Okay, so let's see what we have today. We're gonna go with our tarot cards first. So I have been doing a lot of these tower kind of spread, and I think they just kind of give me like a really good story. So we basically read from the bottom up to the top. This is gonna be like a central theme card. So I'm gonna go ahead and start reading just a general overview of what November would look like for you guys. Asking my spiritual guide, my team of spiritual guides to come in, also the spiritual guides of your, the viewers to also come in as well. Okay. 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 Okay, the Tower card is the theme here, so I do think that I'm expecting a little bit of a big change in November for you guys, just because it's like central card that kind of came up here. Not all changes have to be negative, right? It could be a really big good change, it could be a a big bad change, but whatever it is, something that kind of takes over and like you've sort of feel almost a little bit like unsettled, or like kind of something that makes you feel really new. That's sort of like the vibe that I'm getting. But I think the month is gonna start out like pretty good. Okay, we see the Sun card, the Queen of Wands, King of Swords, like lot of mental clarity, a lot of like truth, like everyone's in a really good shape. And like I kind of see it almost like in a chronological order, so I feel like things are gonna be going pretty well. You're getting things done, you are taking actions. Like I also see a cat here, if that's like relevant to you guys, or it could be like, I don't know, like almost like kind of reminds me of Halloween a little bit too. But things are good sort of like early November, October, late October. You're kind of trying to make different plans, maybe for the end of the year or even for like next year. And I think there may be like moments where you start to feel a little bit like lonely, or like kind of maybe looking back at what this year has been like, and kind of just thinking about like where I am, what are some things that I could have done differently, maybe just like a reflection. It doesn't have to be really like regretting per se, but just reflecting on the past year. And you will be experiencing a bit of a tower moment, I think, just based on the spread that I have here. And it could be, a breakthrough, it could be a positive thing. I really don't see the tower as a negative card. It's like, it just means a big change, and a big change can be a good thing. It could be liberating. You maybe were like stuck in something and you've been wanting to get out, and you're just putting a lot of action into it and like just feeling really positive about it. You're making plans of how to get out, and at some point during November you feel it, whether it's like, being stuck in a relationship, being stuck in a job, being stuck in some kind of a situation where you felt like, you weren't really sure what's going to happen, and then a lot of the actions sort of take place that allow you to kind of have a tower moment. I think that, I really like to welcome the tower moments in my life. I think that they are, really great, because life is already full of changes. Like the only constant thing in life is change, right? And what is that change going to bring to you? And how are you going to escape something that you are not happy with? Are you taking a break from social media? That could be a tower moment. Like, maybe like social media can be really addicting, right? And you've been sort of like wanting to kind of take a break from it, and you finally jump out and kind of like, jump off the wagon in a sense, because everyone else is on social media, and you feel good about it. There are definitely like some good moments here where you just feel like really motivated, and like you're ready to take on the world, like you're ready to make really big changes. And as I mentioned, social media, like, at the beginning, it's possible you can feel a little lonely, because it is a bit of a network that you belong to, and you're using social media on a regular basis. But that, if it's really addicting, you know that this is a good choice for you. So I'm just seeing a lot of motivation, a lot of willingness to change, a lot of like planning, and just kind of like taking the big leap of faith, and sort of experiencing a tower type of change. It could also be a negative change too, right? The tower can be both positive and negative, or a positive change that leads to some stressful moments, or a negative change, it looks negative but it also actually leads to positive consequences. Whatever it is, just be ready to sort of like embrace that big change that you're gonna experience in November. And but yeah, I really don't see it as a bad thing. We all need tower moments to really, make big progress in our life, I think. So let's do 2 more numerology cards. These are gonna be for your relationship / love / marriage. Okay. Happy ending and compassion. I'm seeing a lot of 99s right here, so it's like, I think I see 9 as like a sign of maturity, like it's like completion, right? Compassion and happy ending. I think it's possible that, if you are, maybe trying to get to know somebody, or you have known somebody for a while and like you want to like advance things, something good could happen there. It's like a happy like conclusion, a happy ending of a phase, right? And I also see the word compassion, so I think it could mean compassion for yourself, compassion for the other person that you're with, which can then allow you to have that happy ending. I think compassion is really important value, especially when it comes to relationships. And I think like once we are in a relationship for like a while, or you've known this person for a while, it does get easier to sort of like grow resentments, right? And not kind of appreciate all the good things that the other partner brings to the relationship, or to your life. We sort of start taking things for granted. And I think compassion and just like being a little more understanding of the other person's like faults or the flaws that you see, I think it's like a really important thing. And I think that the spirits want to remind you, right, of the importance of compassion in keeping a relationship or a partnership or a friendship alive. So I definitely do see them as like kind of being tied together. You need to have compassion if you want to reach some kind of a happy ending. And I do think that if you are in a relationship where you're not really happy, or you've been trying to get out, we definitely have the Tower card here. So maybe this is a really good opportunity, or this is a really good time for you to get out, right? And happy ending, you know, it's an end, right? So it could be like an end of a relationship that wasn't really serving you. I think that's definitely a possibility. And, you know, it's asking you also to have compassion for yourself as you get out of something that you know is not really good for you, and also maybe for the other person too. You know, not everyone is perfect. Everybody, not everybody maybe, but like most people in life, I think, in the world, like deserve some kind of compassion, because maybe it's, you know, maybe they're sick people, they are just sort of lacking in certain things, and even though this is not serving you, and you know it's great that you're getting out of it, you know, it's, I think, also really important to have some compassion for both yourself and for the other person who was once there for you. So I could definitely see, you know, somebody breaking out of a bad or a toxic or just manipulative, you know, relationship. That's Tower moment, and a happy ending, and just, you know, asking you to have compassion for the whole, you know, throughout the whole situation. Okay, let's go ahead and get some cards for your wellness. Okay, what are some things that you can do for your wellness in November? Okay, so these are both really, I think, great cards for when it comes to wellness. The first one that I see is pause and rest. You deserve it. I think that this year has been, you know, a bit of a difficult year, maybe, or like it's just been an exhausting year for you. And I think that, you know, as we go into the winter, November, your spirit wants you to pause and rest, and that you deserve it. You know, just kind of, you know, taking time to meditate, just kind of, you know, taking it easy, allowing yourself to check in with yourself, having some time for yourself, you know, not always feeling pressure to like go out and like be with people if you don't want to, right? I think that's really important here. Just take some time to yourself, you know, go to a spa, like get a massage, you know, engage in some self-care. You deserve it, and you need it right now. Okay. And then the other card, manifestation, what you seek is seeking you. I love that card because I think that there's something that you have like wanted to happen for a while. It could be a physical thing, but I do think that it's more of like an abstract thing. Like maybe you've wanted to, you know, find ways to express yourself in different ways, or you've been wanting to connect with some parts of you, right? And this card is you know, an affirmation. It's confirming to me that whatever you're seeking will find you soon. It's also seeking you as you seek it. So like there's no doubt that whatever you have in your heart that you desire is like meant to be yours. So like, and sometimes like we experience like really special moments where like things just click, right? And then you just start to be able to do the things that you felt like you couldn't really do, right? So that's the power of manifestation. And you know, as long as you like, as long as you keep using that power of manifestation and, you know, laws of attraction, and sort of, you know, like, for example, every morning I like thank the universe for like 5 different things in my life. You know, I thank them for like my family, my friends, you know, my cats, like a beautiful day, whatever. And then I also start like kind of, I under that list, I start manifesting and like thank the universe for things that haven't happened yet. Like, thank you so much for A, thank you so much for V. So it kind of helps me put, you know, get into that mindset of like already being grateful that it happened already. That's a really, I think, beautiful trick, or not trick, but like a beautiful method that I use for manifestation. And if you haven't done manifestations, maybe this is a really good time for you to start. Or, you know, if you have been doing it, and I think that you will have some really good moments where you like, you know, see it coming, it finally happens after like a long time. Maybe you've wanted this for a month or weeks or even years, right? I think that this is a really good sign that, you know, you will feel really well, you will feel really happy because of the power of manifestation. What you're seeking is seeking you also, and it will find you really soon. Okay, so let's now take a look at 3 cards for your career and wealth and jobs, stuff like that. Okay, so we see conjunction, blood, and the red and white rose. So I think that, you will be collaborating a lot for the month of November when it comes to your work and your job. The word conjunction here, the conjunction card, is all about coming together, right? And then I also see like a rainbow here. So it could also mean that, you know, you're able to sort of have more diversity and inclusion at your workplace, or you feel like, you know, maybe there are new people that are joining that makes your workplace like a better place for you. Maybe you feel like a better sense of belonging in November. So that could be, you know, a possibility. And I'm seeing a lot of roses here, so I feel like there are some really like beautiful moments that you'll be experiencing at work. And if you're looking for work, you know, conjunction could also mean that it's like coming together of like you and this company, right? So I do think that there will be some good news when it comes to, you know, if you're seeking work. And if you're already doing some kind of work, you know, maybe you put a lot of sweat, blood, and tears into it. Like, it's confirmation that like you are putting a lot of work into it and that you really care about the work that you do. You know, maybe you're like a creative, or you're, you know, you're trying to pursue something. I see that you're putting a lot into it, and that like I think the spirit is also acknowledging that as well. And just like the roses here, I feel like the message that I'm getting here is that you're gonna have really beautiful moments, and that, you know, something is gonna click, something's gonna come together, and you're gonna feel like really fulfilled about it. So I think those are all really good signs. I'm going to just quickly look at the guidebook to see if we have any more specific messages here. Okay, so the blood, it can also refer to the pulse, physicality, and the body. So maybe some of you guys work with the body. Like, you could be like a fitness, you could be in the fitness industry, you could be a yoga teacher, you could maybe be like a movement therapist, whatever it is. Like, it could be a confirmation that this message is for you. Have no fear of the blood card, because it indicates a remembrance of the vital mammalian nature of our existence. Drop by drop, this sacred elixir reminds us that we are alive, not merely thinking beings, but being beings. When blood is the prima materia in the lab, the alchemist uses the physical body as a starting point, building a relationship to the container that houses the spirit. Through the limbs, the organs, the cells, we witness the miracle of life, one heartbeat at a time. So take note of how much red is within this reading, okay? So we've seen a little bit of red here, right here, here, here. This indicates the vigor present in the Corinth's world. If the palette is dulled, it's likely the spirit needs support. Okay, the blood card brings vitality to an entire reading. When it is present, it is as if all the other cards come alive and begin to grow. I think that, you know, this card indicates that you're gonna feel a little more alive in November when it comes to, you know, work. Maybe you feel a little more fulfilled, and you just kind of like start to take things in more like personally, and, you know, the work feels more connected to who you are. So that's the blood. Let's take a look at the conjunction here. Conjunction is a great alchemical operation of love. Okay, so this is love, divine union, and infinity. Okay, so it is the alchemist is patient and true to their own heart. Do not be fooled by preconceived images of what connection looks like. Love is creative and therefore seeks new forms. So the center of the lamp is, so it's all about love, divine union, and infinity. So the infinity sign, I think, is really interesting, because I think it could also indicate that you will find something that you feel is really like really your thing, you know, like a new passion could be something that you find if you don't really feel connected yet. Okay, and this is the red and white rose. It refers to vital force arising and awakening. So we have vital force here in both of these cards. So I think November is really a month where you feel alive when it comes to like your work or careers and stuff like that. A lot of activating, a lot of invigorating power, energy here. So something comes together, really clicks together, and makes you feel alive. Okay, so I think that's a really amazing sign when it comes to work. It means that you're gonna feel really like alive, and you're gonna feel more fulfilled when it comes to your work. So those are really good signs. Let's take a look at some values that I think that your spirit wants you to sort of think about for this month. It's humility and family. Okay, humility is to be humble and not think of yourself as better than others. Okay, So just kind of keeping that ego in check, just always making sure that even when, things are going well, or even when things are not going well, just always being humble and just, realizing and remembering that you are part of a whole. You're connected to all of humanity, all of living things on this earth. You're not above or below anything else. Right? Humility, I think, actually is a word that kind of comes to my mind a lot because of like what's in the news lately about some people who are like, kind of narcissistic, and they really, I do think that it's like a disease. Like it's just people kind of like, it's like a sickness, right? Where like people really think that they are truly, better than other people, or they think that they're somehow above others. And that's like a really sad thing, because people then, as they put themselves up, they're isolating, right? As like who they are, sort of above everybody else. So it's like a really isolating place to be. And humility is coming back to where we are, which is with everyone else in the world, every living thing, every living and non-living thing really in the world. Like we are all one, we're all connected, and being humble is a good reminder for that. So family, it's interesting that this card pops up. It's November, so there will be Thanksgiving. It might be a good time for you to reconnect with your family. I know that family can be like a really tricky card or a topic or a concept when it comes to, values and stuff like that, because some of us don't really have good families, of origin, good families that we can go back to, that we really connect with, that really like, make us feel really accepted for who we are. So maybe, rather than actually connect with them, if you don't have a relationship with your family, just maybe thinking about, your soul family, or just family of your choice, right? Whatever that meaning is to you, whatever that word means to you, I think that just like kind of, remembering that sense of belonging that comes, with the word family, whether it's your family of origin, or if it's a family of choice, it doesn't really matter. I think what really is important is that we all get to have a sense of belonging, because I think that's really important, and it's what really keeps us alive and going. It's really the sense of connection, and knowing that we're connected with other people, that allows us to move forward and to really live like a healthy, happy life. So maybe take some time right this month to reflect on that, family and friends, honestly. Like, what are some people around you that make you really feel good about yourself? What are some things, that you want to give to them or to thank them for? How are you able to give back to people that really love you and support you? Or how do you make more fun memories? Like, what are some trips that you can plan together, or other like ideas that you guys have to just like hang out, chill, and like create beautiful memories together? So humility and family, I think those are all like, kind of like in the same vein, in that like, just, kind of reinforcing or like remembering that sense of belonging. Okay, so this is the final wisdom of the oracle card, and we will know, like, end here, deep knowing. So all in all, I think November will be a month where you sort of get to realize a lot of things. Deep knowing is like, you get to know or realize, have insights about things that, maybe were not too clear for you in the beginning. That tower moment, feeling invigorated at work, having some kind of a really divine union here. A lot of these things are going to allow you to sort of have new insights, and these insights are going to be there to help you and to guide you, I think, throughout the month of November, but also towards like, the end of this year. And I think that you will be like a much wiser person, next year or in December even, because of all the things that I experienced this year. So yeah, I hope that this reading was helpful for you. And if you liked it, if you enjoyed the reading, please like, subscribe, comment, the whole spiel. And yeah, let's stay connected, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. So we will go ahead and take a look at what you guys have for November. So my camera died and I had to kind of re-film this, which is not ideal, but I remember exactly what I said and what the spread was like, so I don't think that that's gonna be a problem. So I think what you guys have for November is that it's going to be a month where you really reflect on your finances, or you just kind of achieve a lot when it comes to just money, wealth, finances, and stuff like that. So I kind of see it as like a chronological order here, and here you're just putting a lot of energy into something that you really, are kind of into. It could be like your work, maybe it could be a side project. You're just putting a lot of energy into something. It's just like working really hard to improve something. And I do think that it's possible that you will experience like a bit of a burnout, or just feel really stressed about it, or maybe you're applying to a new job and you're just submitting like tons of applications and like you feel a little burned out, from the process. That's also a possibility. But I just see like a lot of burnout or stress that comes from just putting a lot of energy into it. But I think that all of it will like kind of lead to a really positive result when it comes to finances. Maybe you will hear, really great news about the job that you were looking for, or maybe you sort of experienced a bit of a breakthrough. And I think this Lovers card is really a really great sign. Maybe you like encounter a perfect platform for you, or you encounter like a business partner, or you encounter a company or an employer, or like a work partner, right? Somebody that kind of like allows you to sort of push through. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of like build up here, and then you experience some kind of like a divine unity or union with somebody, and that allows you to sort of like be almost in a position where you can give back. Okay, I'm not saying that you were not giving back before, or that you were not in like a position where you could do that, or you're unwilling or anything like that, but this person is like giving money, right, to other people, and it really indicates like abundance and like compassion. Okay, and the overall theme, I think, when it comes to November, and I was basically explaining how I see a lot of pentacles, okay, in this month. So I do think it's really related to like finances, money, and like wealth or success, abundance, and stuff like that. And the overall theme is, how do you prioritize all the different things that are happening in your life? Okay, putting a lot of effort into it, you reach like some kind of a goal that you had. While you're doing that, how do you prioritize like different things? Okay, so here this guy is kind of juggling two different pentacles here, and then there are like ships right in the background, and there's like big waves. Okay, so a lot of things are happening. It's gonna be a busy month, and you sort of have to like learn how to manage different things that are happening, and kind of learn like to choose one or the other. And I was explaining how like using an Excel sheet or a table or some kind of a product or app that allows you to sort of organize all the tasks that you have to accomplish could be a really good idea. Okay, so I'm definitely just seeing like a really good sign though when it comes to like finances or achieving some kind of a goal that can lead you to financial prosperity. Even later, maybe it won't happen in November all at once, but you're going to be putting a lot of energy into something that can potentially lead to financial prosperity, and you'll have to sort of like manage a lot of different priorities during the process. Okay, and these two were the cards for your romantic life. So I think that synchronicity and music is, together, the word that I, really comes up to me is harmony. Okay, so I think that if you're currently in a really happy relationship, you will continue to experience harmony and just a lot of alignment with the partner that you have. And the Lovers cards, of course, is another really good sign. That something, if you have something going on that's really good and beautiful, it will continue to be like that in November, right? And harmony or like synchronicity, if you're not in a relationship and you're looking, another thing is that maybe you will meet somebody on a dating app where you sort of align with them in terms of your musical tastes, and so you feel kind of drawn to them because of that. Okay, that's like another possibility. I think some dating apps like allow you to sort of like choose some songs that you're really into or something like that, so that you can like see how much alignment exists when it comes to music and stuff. Okay, so I see that also as a possibility. Okay, and if you're currently in like a relationship or you're dating somebody and you're like not happy with it and you're trying to like leave, I'm not sure if November really is going to be that the time that it happens. I'm just seeing a lot of like alignment, things coming together, just like coming harmoniously together. And November may not be like the month where you sort of get to escape something. Maybe you'll find some peace or like harmony within that, or it may happen a bit later than November. So but I do think that it's mostly like a positive sign for like most of you. It'll be like a harmonious time when it comes to romantic life. Okay, and let's see, these were the cards for your wellness, okay, for the month of November. So like off the bat, I'm seeing the witch's hat, which, just gives me like a lot of Halloween vibes. So maybe if you haven't done it already, maybe you'll have like a really fun time at Halloween, or maybe you will sort of like, use that as a way, use that time as like opportunity to connect with other people. That also, makes you feel really happy and connected, and, gives you that sense of belonging. Okay. It also says express yourself, share your gifts with the world. Okay. So kind of going back to like the initial tarot cards here, you're putting a lot of energy into something, and maybe that something is, where you're putting a lot of creative energy into. Okay, so this card, I think, is really asking you to share those gifts, share that creative genius, the creative, wisdom with the world. It's totally fine. Creative process can be like a healing thing on its own. Art heals without trying. All art heals. However, if you share that with the world, I think that it can also lead to, potentially also like financial prosperity here, right? Like you're putting a lot of energy into something, but then once you meet like a really great platform or partner or something like that, it can really make you sort of be in this abundant position. So I think it's just like a similar message. You are asked to share your gifts with the world, mostly I think for your healing, and for, it'll just make you, I think, give you a lot of healing, and you just are going to feel better. And, it's like kind of sharing and channeling that energy, right, with the world. But also it can, I think, lead to financial abundance as well. And if you have been looking for a sign for something that you have been thinking a lot about, if you've been like, asking the universe for a sign for something, here it is. This is the sign. Okay. So if you're looking for a sign, here it is. That's what it says. It's a butterfly. And I think that you are, the question that you're asking about, here's the answer. Okay, so I hope that really resonates with some of you guys. And I think I also like, want to emphasize how, it has like an open hand here, like the hand is opening here. And this one, there's like a hand that's like also completely like open, right? You're like being receptive to different things. And I think that's also another way that you will heal and kind of just feel better in the month of November. Okay. And as I explained, I did this kind of reading already and kind of doing it again because the camera died. But basically these 3 cards were for your careers and messages for your careers and work and stuff like that. So here I was noticing how like Mars, kind of indicates like strength and willpower and stuff like that. And it has like a really tight like fist, right? So I think it's possible that this is kind of related to this card here, where you maybe feel a little bit of like pressure, or you feel like a burnout. A lot of it maybe has to do with like money, the finances stuff. And these 2 cards, okay, vinegar is about like acidity and just kind of like amplifying things, almost kind of like digging into the past and all the past things coming out. That's the same with the despicable face. Okay, so these are about dealing with and processing things from the past. And given that you had a lot of pentacles in your reading, I believe that these cards are asking you to sort of maybe deal with or process or think about or do some writings about some of the financial or money related guilt or shame that you have. I think that everybody in this world has some kind of a money shame in one way or another. I think it's extremely common. If you don't, like, lucky you, but a lot of us, have a really complicated relationship with money. Did we grow up in a really like, difficult household where like money was always a problem? Did you like grow up in a place or in a household where like money was abundant, but like maybe, it kind of played a really interesting or weird role, like when it comes to, relationship with your parents, right? Like money can be, I think, like it can cause a lot of traumas or just cause a lot of shame or guilt, whether you grew up in a rich family or a poor family or just a regular average family. Okay, whatever it is, I think that these cards are asking you to sort of improve your relationship with money. Why don't you try to process whatever it is that's really complicated, right, about your relationship with money? And I think that that's going to really lead to a lot of really financial, like positive financial results. If you have a better relationship with money, you will be able to also like prosper and kind of have more of an abundant amount, right? Like you will be abundant more so if you are able to kind of process some of the past, incidents or like stuff that you haven't processed yet. So that's the message that I'm getting here. And finally, these are the values that you're asked to consider, okay, for the month of November. So mindfulness, I think it's pretty clear. You know, meditation is a really great tool, okay, especially if you're experiencing a burnout or, you know, feeling really stressed about something, not knowing how to prioritize things, okay, mindfulness, meditation, learning how to be in the present moment will be a really helpful tool, okay? And service here, just realizing that, this is, you belong with everything else in the world, right? You're not living your life by yourself, and giving service is a way to connect with the world, and it's a way to sort of like, if you give, okay, if you provide service to other people, then it creates a space within you that then you're allowed to receive as well. So I definitely believe in the concept of karma, okay? So if you do great things and like help other people, provide good karma, you will receive beautiful things in return. Of course, like, we're not asking you to do service just for that reason only, for good karma, but it is definitely something true just based on like what I've experienced in my life so far. Like, if I do bad things come back. If I do like good things, then I receive like abundance as a result. So I think it's a really good reminder, okay? Think about meditation, mindfulness, also like how it can be of service to other people. And I think these cards are also like super relevant here. Just like giving and being of service to other people is a really great way for you to, create that beautiful space within you. Okay. And finally, this is just the last like wisdom of the oracle card. Yang is basically refers to the sun. Okay. So kind of reminds me of like this Mars card. It's a lot of strength. It's a lot of almost kind of channeling the masculine side of you. I think that you will have to push through a lot of different things to kind of get to that place where you feel really fulfilled. Okay, you're starting here with like just putting a lot of energy into something. You get stressed, you get burned out. You kind of have to push through this, right, to get to a place of the lovers, which is like, a beautiful union, and then you sort of get to this place of abundance. And just for the month of November, I think it'll be really important for you to kind of channel a lot of your masculine energy and sort of like kind of remember your strength and use it, okay, to push through. And also November is not always the sunniest month, and I think it could also be a reminder for you to go out, get some sun, soak in that vitamin D, because it's going to also be really important for your wellness and health as well, okay? So that's all the message that I have for pile 2. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and also let me know in the comments what you thought. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. So this is the last pile that I have for my reading for November. I'm going to just briefly connect with my spiritual team and ask the spiritual team of those people that are watching this video to also come in and help me so that I can give an accurate and a beneficial and helpful reading for all the viewers. Okay. So we are going to start with a general overview of what November will look like for you. Okay. So this is going to be like the general like overview card, like the overall theme here, and then we're going to go in a chronological order and see what kind of a month that you're going to have in November. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay. I think that for you guys, the month of November is going to start out with collaboration, just connecting with a lot of people in your life, and kind of like making that, like, allowing that to open up your emotional side. Okay, so we see a couple of cups here. Okay, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups. It's all about emotional mastery, like how do you connect with your emotional self. And I think that being with other people, collaborating with other people, just spending a lot of time with people will sort of like help you connect with your emotional side if you were not able to do so, especially in the past. So just like being in touch with your emotions and kind of being mindful of that, okay? And I do think that, in addition to feeling like, more connected with your emotions, November might be a pretty busy month for you as well. I think I'm kind of picking up almost like a similar message from pile two, but the year's also almost coming to an end, and as you sort of wrap things up, I do think that it's possible that you're going to be really busy, okay, in the month of November. And as you get like here, like 8 of Wands like are flying to you, and like you sort of like have to figure out like, do I take care of like the left or the right, sort of like just not knowing exactly, or just having to learn to like balance different things. So I do think that while you will be like kind of emotionally fulfilled and like spend a lot of time with other people, you will also, I think, be a little bit busy and just kind of have to like you'll have to like learn how to balance different things. The Wheel of Fortune card, though, is a really great sign. It's a card that indicates like a lot of balance and also like change. Okay, so here like we have many different animals sitting, so it also is kind of giving like a lot of the Three of Pentacles energy as well, like being with other people. I think you'll go through a change, but you won't be doing that alone. You will be kind of like pretty in good touch with like your emotions, and kind of going through a change like with other people or other beings. Maybe it could be animals, it could be real people, but I feel like you will experience a change in a really graceful manner. Okay, so I think that the month of November is looking pretty good. Wheel of Fortune is always a really good card. I really enjoy that card, especially I think because I think a lot of the times it really indicates like a positive change for you guys. A Wheel of Fortune is always like a pretty positive turning point kind of a card. Okay, so it's gonna be a good change, whatever change it is that you're expecting. You're gonna be with other people, sort of emotionally connected, and it could also mean like good luck, karma, life cycle, turning point. I think that maybe this is a turning point that you experience because you're like more connected to other people. So like, for example, one scenario that I could see with this spread is like you are working with like different mentors or like other like people in your life in order to maybe like you're trying to find a job, and you're like trying to sort of like be in touch with your own feelings, emotions, like kind of like instead of like feeling really anxious about it, you're working with other people to like make sure that you're staying grounded and stuff. And it's gonna be a busy month where you maybe like hear back for like different interviews and stuff. You have to like decide which one you want to go to. Maybe you receive multiple offers, and the Wheel of Fortune is like the conclusion is that you're gonna have a really good turning point in terms of your career and work stuff. Okay, so I think what's really important here is that you stay connected with other people, and you also like stay in touch with their emotions, and just are always aware of like how you're feeling, and just like being mindful of like what's going on. And I think this is going to ground you. Okay, it's just being socially connected with other people, and also just being in touch with their emotions will ground you, so that when everything comes to you at once, like in this month, and you're deciding what to do, these will be like helpful guides for you. Okay, and whatever happens, whatever decision you make will be like a really positive change, and you're going to be really happy that this happened. Okay, so I think this is like a really positive spread for the month of November. Okay, I think especially when it comes to like making decisions and stuff. Okay, and these two are cards that are messages about your romantic life. Okay, parenting and self-love. Wow, it's a really interesting card. I do see blue and like the number 6, if that resonates with you. If you are a parent, okay, maybe this is a message saying that like for you to if you like desire to be like a better parent, you have to learn to love yourself first. Maybe some of the past traumas or reenactment kind of happens with your own children. Maybe it also even refers to like your you, even if you're a pet parent, like if if you're a mom or a dad to like your dogs or cats or even trees, plants, whatever, right? Like just kind of maybe using that experience to to learn to grow or love yourself. Like if my dog loves me unconditionally, what am I to not love myself as much, right? Like even my dog like respects me and loves me, or something like that, right? Or using self-love as a really great tool to be a better parent. If you guys don't have any children or any pets or plants or anything like that, that's also fine. I think that sometimes we have to reparent ourselves, right? People talk about the whole like inner child work, right, that we have to do in order to sort of be like a more mature and like wiser adult, right? So in order to develop and kind of generate more self-love, maybe you have to learn to like reparent yourself, kind of like get in touch with like the inner child that you were or that you still are inside you, and kind of connect with her or him or them, and kind of like be in touch with that. And you know, how do you like take care of that inner child that maybe didn't really get the care that they needed when they were little? Okay, so I think it's a really positive message. But like when it comes to romantic life, I do think that this month is going to be a lot about self-love instead of maybe like a lot of romantic love. Like how do you love yourself more? What are some things that you can do to love yourself more? Or how do you use self-love as a tool to be a better parent? Or how do you reparent yourself and stuff like that? Okay, so I think that's a really beautiful message. Okay, and we have a couple of cards for wellness. True North, stay true to yourself, and no, sleep on it. Okay, so these are really important. I think they definitely go together here. If you are wondering about a specific question, whether you should say yes or no to it, I think this could be a really like strong sign that you should say no to it and sort of like protect yourself, and like know that you matter and your value and your peace matters more than whatever it is that you were sort of considering. Okay, so no, sleep on it, like let it go, just say no to it, and protect your boundary. Maybe there's somebody that's trying to come back to your life, and like deep inside that this person is not going to be really helpful for you, or that they're going to harm you again, or they're going to hurt you again in the future. That deep inside, but maybe you've sort of been still kind of like thinking about it. The answer is no. You cannot let that person come back, especially if you know that you've been the pattern, like the same thing is going to happen again. And related to that, true north, stay true to yourself. I think it's a really beautiful message about sort of like staying in touch with like your emotions. They really go well actually with these two cards, which are about like being in touch with your emotions, and kind of staying true to who you are, and listening to your emotions when they happen instead of suppressing them or ignoring them. It's like you have to stay true to yourself and listen to your thoughts, listen to your emotions. Also, a really great way to practice self-love, right? So for wellness in the month of November, you're asked to set strong boundaries, especially if you know deep inside that the answer is no. You already know that, like, and this is a really great way to sort of know that answer, and to enforce that is to listen to your emotions, stay connected with the inner child that actually always knows the truth, and is really wiser, than you expect. Okay, so staying true to yourself, even if it's important, I think is challenging. Okay, and these are the cards that are related to your career and work. Okay, sulfur, separation, and mystical sister. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the book here and kind of just read what's going on here. I mean, right off the bat, I think that separation is like it could be something that is like telling you that if you've been like meaning to like leave work or like quit your job or something like that, this could be confirmation or an affirmation, or just like letting you know, yeah, that's actually not a bad thing to do. So separation here, it says differentiation, divide, to cut away. Okay, so the birds are kind of separating from each other, but it's like a really beautiful separation. It's not like a negative thing. It's like kind of cutting something negative away from you. Language also is a way that separation is expressed through labels, titles, and definitions. Notice whether your word choices are inclusive or exclusive, and adjust as necessary. Is there anything that does not separate? That's the question that it's asking you to ponder. It's likely there's been a hot mess in the lab for a while. Once you're past that initial blow, you will be singing separation's praises. So it's a great alchemical operation of the sword. It occurs when substances are pulled apart for their higher good, either willingly or unwillingly. The fissure may take place suddenly with a swift blow to the axe, or slowly over time with the dull blade. No matter how it occurs, it's going to be a painful process for all involved. Images of swords, knives, battles, rebellion, breakups, divorce, and atoms splitting an expression. The good news is that it always actually leads to something positive at the end. This is a prerequisite for conjunction of union and love. Okay, so if you've been like meaning to leave your current job or your industry, or like what you're doing in terms of like work, and if you've been looking for a sign to see if that's a good idea, I think that this is a really great sign. Okay, and that maybe sort of just kind of connecting back to like your true north, maybe deep inside, like you already know the answer, and that it is maybe time for you to leave for a greater good, so that you create a space, right, for a greater good. Okay, let's then read the text for the mystical sister, sacred ally, outreach. Okay, so this is kind of connected to these this card here. Just when you thought you could traverse the alchemical path by yourself, this card appears. It indicates dear friend, sacred ally that holds you in their heart at this very moment. With their support, you're able to do what you cannot do yourself. Between you exists an alchemical pact based on the ingredients of respect, honesty, and unconditional love. Okay, one distinct characteristic of this card is that they practice the art of witnessing and listening. Okay, so sacred ally. So definitely something that is about sort of surrounding yourself with people that listen to you, that witness you, that don't judge you, that are kind of like just really there for you. I think they are definitely related here. Okay, so sort of like finding your group of friends, reconnecting with them, or continuing to connect with them as you go through this like almost like an emotional journey, right? I think will be an amazing thing. And also like separation here, as mentioned, like, you know, if you're looking for a new job or something like that, you know, you could be separating from that anxious state that you had, so that you're entering like a new phase. So separation card, I think, could also mean just entering into a different phase of your process. Okay, so it could be like a really, you know, it could be leaving something or entering something as well. Okay, and finally we are going to read the passage for sulfur here. Okay, evaporation, up and out, both end. Okay, so on esoteric level, sulfur is the first of what is known as tria prima, or the three primes. Along with salt and mercury, it makes up a threefold phenomenon that symbolizes the uniting of soul, body, and mind. And it's responsible for both the off-putting smells and therapeutic properties of a mineral bath. It soothes and it stinks, literally. To understand sulfur is to embrace a both-and mentality. So it's kind of like being really open to both the beautiful and the ugly sides of something. So just keep in mind that what is gross contains beauty, and what's beautiful contains its own demise. Okay, so just, I think that just like kind of reminds me of like the word truth. Okay, sulfur, I think, is about seeing the two sides of things. Envision what is guys are like in your life right now, what needs to move up and out to be free so that it can evaporate. So evaporation, up and out, both end. Okay, so you know, when it comes to work and we hear the word evaporation and up and out, I think that these can also be like super related. Leaving also means, you know, creating a space that allows you, creating a space for something new to enter your life as well, right? So it's like both and. It's like both negative and positive, right? Like quitting something that you knew were not serving you. Or it's also evaporation. So maybe it's like evaporation of certain feelings that you have been having when it comes to like work. Maybe those feelings get resolved. Maybe you don't really feel anxious anymore. You know, maybe you feel really supported, you know, because of the people that you have in your life here, right? So it's maybe a bit of an emotional journey, emotional roller coaster, but I think at the end, we do have the Wheel of Fortune, and I do think that you're going to, you know, be able to create a space that allows even better things really to happen to you, okay? So separation and sulfur, I think they definitely both, you know, tell me that November, you know, you will experience some kind of a change, and it may not feel super positive, you know, like this can also like mean like confusion, right? And not knowing exactly, you know, which way to go. And like, you know, all these things that are flying to you, right? Could be like a bit stressful, but I think that like this Wheel of Fortune card really is a confirmation that, you know, even though you go through some kind of a uneasy, like painful process, like the end result will be great. And a lot of that, you know, you will able to go through with the help of other people. So whether it's like your family, your friends, you know, just kind of being always in touch with them to like, you know, share your feelings and check in with like, you know, each other to see how they're doing, how you're doing, will always be like really good strategy here. Okay. Now let's take a look at what values that your spirit team wants you to sort of think about. And interesting. Career and gratitude. Okay. Definitely seeing a lot of career related stuff for this reading and for you guys. So obviously career here to prioritize progress in your profession or occupation. So just kind of having, you know, the career in your mind, you know, you're going to think a lot about it. Maybe, you know, work, what does work mean to you? What does a career mean? What kind of a profession do you have? Do you want something? You know, do you feel like, you know, you want something? What kind of things do you want? just kind of being in touch with those feelings. Maybe you'll have some people that you can talk about this with you, you know, like discuss, maybe go to like webinars or just like connect with people that are also in like similar shoes, right? And just kind of thinking about that gratitude, I think, you know, it's always a great value to have, and it also is something that allows you to create a space where you can welcome more things into your life, to give heartfelt thanks and appreciation regularly and openly. Definitely also reminding me of these two cards, right? Kind of having an ally, having a really good friend around you. Like, thank them, you know, thank them for, you know, being there for you. Thank them for all the support. Thank them for, you know, just helping you go through this process, okay? It's never, you know, too much, right, to thank people in your life. They will always appreciate you back, I think, if they're good friends or family to you, and they will thank you, right, for all the things that you do for them, okay? So just practice these values and making sure that you do that with other people as well. And here's the final wisdom of the Oracle card that kind of sums up everything. Observer. Okay, so this card, I think, to me really asks me, or it kind of like gives this message of like, don't be rash, don't make rash decisions. Okay, you're going to maybe feel overwhelmed, right? This card can be a little bit overwhelming, but close your eyes and think about different things, like make an observation, witness before you make really a quick change. Obviously, the Wheel of Fortune is a change card, okay? So you may have to make a pretty big change in this month of November. And I think that you're being asked to sort of like, you know, connect with people, sort of like think twice, be true to yourself, and think about what really you want. You know, you may have to juggle a few different things and kind of go back and forth, and that's fine. You know, you can try to do that process, go through the process with other people in your life, but try to observe, okay? And be slow. You don't have to be really quick, okay? Try to, you know, observe your own emotions, your own thoughts, weigh the pros and cons of the things that you're considering before you make a decision, which will be, you know, undoubtedly like a really great turning point, especially I think when it comes to career and work, okay? So my cat is calling me, and these are all the messages that I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank my spirit team and your spirit teams for coming in and helping me with this reading. I will go ahead and stop here. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments, and I will talk to you guys in another video. Bye!